Okay. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shannon Hoskinson, and you've either been invited here by me or one of my friends that I've actually helped coach in intermittent fasting. So, a little bit about me is that I am currently, I'm 30, I'm almost 39 years old. I'll be 39 next week. I live in Topeka, Kansas. I've been married to my husband, Ryan, for almost 16 years, and we have three kids. I have a 13-year-old. No, he just turned 14. I have a 14-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a newly 9-year-old. I'm a busy mom of three. And my journey with intermittent fasting started 4 years ago, actually, this month. 4 years ago, this month, I went in for my annual physical. And because my third pregnancy, I had gestational diabetes, I was insulin dependent with gestational diabetes. No amount of food control, exercise, any of that was keeping my numbers low. So I had to give myself insulin shots every night. And I was the healthiest I'd ever been in that pregnancy. Okay. And so ever since then, I've had to go in and get my blood work done every year to see how my A1C is looking and all the things. And so I went in to do that blood work. And, that whole year, I hadn't been feeling good. I really hadn't been feeling good since 2 years prior, since getting flu. I'd gotten the flu, and then life from after getting the flu just was terrible. I was constantly tired. I was fatigued. I was brain fogged. I didn't feel like I could plan well anymore. I didn't feel like myself. I was having a lot of anxiety. I was having panic out of nowhere. My seasonal allergies were terrible. Like what used to be just an every now and then flare was just constant. I was having constant sinus infections. It just wasn't good. I was also homeschooling my kids, and I just kept thinking, is this worth it? Like, is it worth it to homeschool them and to feel this terrible? I mean, I needed a nap every day, and we're not talking like a 30-minute shut your eyes and power down and then power back up. We're talking full on 2-hour naps. I was having some insomnia. I wasn't sleeping well at night. Things were not good, you guys. They were not good. So I did my annual blood work that year, and my A1C came back high. And I got this email from the doctor. And the email said, your A1C is high, you're pre diabetic, you need to lose weight and exercise and eat better. And so I emailed back and I reminded them that I was just in the office the week before, all of 5 foot 1 inches tall, weighing it at 115 pounds, and had just gotten done telling my doctor all about experimenting with Whole30 and paleo and all the things, trying to get healthy, trying to feel better. I was very frustrated at that email because I felt like they didn't look at my chart and they didn't pay attention to who I was. When I said, do you really want me to lose more weight? And they said, no, 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 sorry, we didn't look at your chart. We don't want you to lose weight, but we do want you to go on metformin. And I wasn't okay with that either, you guys. I mean, at the time I was 35. I was fit and healthy and eating well and exercising 5 days a week. And I didn't feel like going on metformin was the answer for me. I felt like surely there's something else going on in my body. And I didn't want to be told that I was just a fit type 2 and genetics just were working against me. So I made an appointment to get into my endocrinologist. And she is amazing, but it was going to take 6 months. And I didn't have 6 months to keep feeling the way I was feeling, which is when I jumped on board an all natural plant based supplement uh, regimen. Okay. So I started that regimen and I started feeling better. And I went into my endocrinologist 6 months later, feeling the best I had in a long time, with labs were looking really good. And we talked about all of it. And she tested me for everything. She tested me for celiacs and vitamin D deficiency and Hashimoto's. And then we did some extensive genetic testing because there are some new genetic components out there. I wanted to make sure I wasn't passing anything on to my kids. And it all came back negative. And she said, you know what? For whatever reason, you really are just insulin resistant. But I see that it's being controlled right now. You're doing well. But I want you to add in intermittent fasting. I want you to really add that in. And I think with that, with your supplements, then we could keep you off pharmaceutical drugs for a long time. And she said, as long as I remained healthy and checked with her once a year, she'd leave me alone. So that was 4 years ago. And I'm here to tell you that I am still not on metformin, that my blood sugar is very controlled. And I've been doing intermittent fasting for 3.5 years. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just someone who didn't like the standard answers, who actually loves to nerd out and loves to research, and have spent the last 3.5 years learning about intermittent fasting, learning about what it does for my body, and then turning around and wanting to help others. Okay, so that's my story. That's what you need to know. And I'm still fit and healthy, you guys. I'm still about the same size. So what is intermittent fasting? Okay, intermittent fasting, this is going to be super quick. Okay, I'm going to give you the overview. All right, intermittent fasting is the lifestyle. Okay, it's a lifestyle. And so, what it is then is the idea behind intermittent fasting is that when your body does not have food coming into it for 12 hours, that gives it time then to use all of the glucose that has been in your system. So, it uses up all the glucose and then turns to using fat for fuel. Okay, so let's pretend I ate at 8 o'clock at night and I don't eat again till 8 in the morning. That's 12 hours. In theory, okay, this is theory. All right, everyone's body is different. In theory, by that 12-hour mark, your body would have used up all the glucose in the system. Okay, and then it's going to use fat for fuel instead. And we want this, okay? We want this because any glucose that doesn't get used up is stored as fat. Okay, and so here's what happens. Here's how your body works overnight. When you go to sleep at night, your body starts to do a lot of different repair processes. Okay, it starts to filter things out and decide what it needs to keep and what it doesn't want to keep. And it always keeps a little bit of glucose on reserve because your body would prefer to use that first. It's easier. It's an easier form of energy for your body to use. So it always keeps a little bit. Okay. And if you're someone like me and you're insulin resistant, that means your liver makes its own choices that you don't get to control, meaning that overnight your liver decides to dump some glucose into your system as it's filtering things out. One, as a filter, two, as a way to wake you up. Okay, so your body needs something to jumpstart its day. Your liver knows that. So it's going to take some glucose that it's stored up and dump it into your system, which is what's going to help you wake up in the morning. Well, if you're like me and you're insulin resistant and your liver makes all of its wonky own choices, it gives you too much. It gives you too much glucose, meaning I wake up with a higher blood sugar, or I used to. Okay, so my blood sugar would be high in the morning. And when you wake up with an already high blood sugar, and then you just turn around and add more glucose into your body can't keep up. Okay, it can't use the glucose well. It can't run efficiently, which is why you might feel like you have brain fog and you're sluggish and all of those things. So, glucose balance is not just a topic for type 1s, type 2s, or even pre diabetics. It is a topic for everybody. Why? Because when your glucose is balanced, your insulin is balanced. Your insulin is your master hormone. Your insulin is what controls all the other things, all your female hormones. I'm assuming mostly women are watching this. Okay. Controls how well you sleep, controls your metabolism. All of those things together then control whether or not you can lose weight and keep it off. Okay. And so when we come to something like intermittent fasting, hoping for a weight loss goal, yes, it can happen, but your body really needs to sleep well first. It needs to have a good metabolism, and your other hormones really need to be balanced before your body can even think about losing the extra weight. Okay, so let's go back. So, in theory, after 12 hours, then your body has used up all the glucose and then you turn towards fat burning mode. So, the way I've always done it and the way I coach is that we do a 16-8, meaning for 16 hours you are fasting and then you have an 8-hour feasting window. Does this mean you're eating all 8 hours of your window? No, that just means it's your window of time to eat in. Okay, so for me, typically 8 o'clock. Today it's going to be different. But from 8 o'clock at night until noon, I am not eating, but I'm drinking a whole lot of water. I can have all the black coffee I want. Okay, sorry, I know you creamer lovers out there. Not a clean fast. Okay, I can have all the black coffee I want and green or black tea, nothing flavored. Okay, that's considered a clean fast until that 16-hour mark. Okay, if you're doing a dirty fast, here's the good news for some of you that were like, no, I don't want to hear anything about no creamer. Okay, If you are someone that needs to do a dirty fast, that's okay. I had to do a dirty fast for a while, build up to a 16-hour. Okay, 16 hours can be a lot for your body sometimes. So, a dirty fast is 50 calories or less. All about calories. 50 calories or less, meaning 1 tablespoon of creamer is probably about 50 calories. Um, yeah, 50 calories or less. Okay, so for me specifically, I did start off dirty fasting. I had a little bit of creamer in my coffee because I needed it. And then I drank a vitamin drink that I'm still drinking today to help me get over that hump. And then I've slowly transitioned into a clean fast. So if you need, a dirty fast to make it a 16-8, that's okay. All right. But there's a clean fast and there's a dirty fast. Dirty fast is 50 calories or less during your fasting window. Clean fast is 0 calories, zero flavors. So, like Zevia, for example, is 0 calorie soda. It's still a no go. It's got stevia in it. You cannot have anything flavored. Okay. This includes sugar free gum. So, the only thing approved for a clean fast is water, black coffee, and green or black tea. Okay. And speaking of water, water is super important. Okay. Your body needs water. The only way fat molecules can leave your body is by water. Okay. You have to pee and sweat. All right. Pee and sweat. The only way that toxins can leave your body are the same way. And then you also need to poop. You need to go to the bathroom. Okay. And so we've got to make sure we're drinking water so we're staying hydrated and our cells can do what they need to do. Okay. So you have a 12-12 fast, which means maybe you're going to fast for 12 hours and have a feasting window of 12 hours, or a 14-8. That's a little better because by the time we hit 12 hours and we've used up all of our glucose, now we turn into fat burning mode. So if you can get from 12 to 14 hours on a clean fast, you have 2 hours of fat burning. That's amazing. If you can get all the way to the 16 mark, you have 4 hours of fat burning. Okay, so it's almost like keto without the diet. Okay, because intermittent fasting is not a diet, it is a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle you can do anywhere. Okay, I just went on vacation and I was still able to intermittent fast. It's a lifestyle, not a diet. Okay. So if you can make it a 16-8, you're going to have 4 hours of fat burning, which is amazing. Okay. So how do you break your fast? Well, it's up to you. But the best way to break your fast is with high protein, low carb. And here's why. Because your body would prefer to use glucose as its fuel, the second you put carbs into your body, your body is like, oh, good, more fuel. And that's what it latches onto first. Okay. So if you've just fasted and you go carb load, guess what just happened? Your body just started storing up all of those carbs for fuel. You don't want that because if it doesn't use it all, it's going to store it as fat. So you want to do low carb, high protein as your first meal of the day. Help give your body a little bit of glucose, what it needs, but to keep it running efficiently. Okay, we're teaching our body how to use glucose efficiently and effectively. All right. And so I suggest then no more than 20 to 25 carbs for a meal to break your fast. For some of you, that might be a meal replacement shake or just anything high protein, low carb. Just read your labels, right? You could just do, I don't even off the top of my head. I usually have a meal replacement shake, but you need to watch and make sure there's no artificial sweeteners in that meal replacement shake. That's what I do. And then I have a snack in the afternoon. I might have a Lara bar or some cheese and gluten-free pretzels. I like to eat gluten-free. An apple and peanut butter, a celery and peanut butter. For a meal, you could just have a really healthy salad. You just want to make sure it's not too high carb. And then really the rest of the day, you can eat like normal. You can have a normal dinner. Tonight for dinner, we had steak and grilled onions and peppers and zucchini, and then these keto cheesy biscuits I made. Um, and this afternoon I had a Lara bar. So I don't even count calories. I just know from what I'm eating, I'm getting at least 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day. This is not calorie restricting. When you restrict your calories too far, you mess up your metabolism. That's why all of those Biggest Loser contestants, anyone old enough out there to remember that and to watch that show, that's why 90% of them gained all their weight back because, yeah, they may have lost all their weight, but they did it in an unhealthy way with restricted calories and it messed up their metabolism. We don't want a yo-yo diet anymore. We don't even want a diet. We just want a lifestyle. right? And so you don't have to count anything. You don't have to count macros. You don't have to count nothing. You just need to count how long am I fasting and am I having at least 64 ounces of water or half of my body weight. Okay. Make sure we're really hydrating our body well. All right. Okay. So I've already talked about the importance of drinking water. Okay. Making sure you're getting at least 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day. Anything less than that, you could really wreck your metabolism. Okay. And so the reason why is because your body, in theory, needs 1,200 calories a day just to breathe and sleep. Okay. So ideally, if you're only eating 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, then you've given your body what it needs just to function, and then everything else, um, exercise or whatever else you're burning, then it's just burning off weight, right? Okay, that's the really unscientific way. Can you exercise while you're fasting? 100% yes. So it's actually best to exercise before you've eaten, whether you're an intermittent faster or not. Because when you exercise before you've eaten, again, you're using up all that extra glucose in your body so it doesn't store as fat, and then you're tapping into fat for fuel. So if you can, it's best to exercise while you're still fasting. How much exercise can you do? Well, it depends on how much you feel like your body can tolerate. Okay. Um, for me personally, I do all of it. I do my weightlifting resistance routine and all of my cardio. I usually burn 300 calories before I break my fast for the day. And I've always been okay with that. Some of you may feel like, oh, I can't do that. Well, you could just take some Himalayan salt, take a pinch of that, put it on your tongue, and it will help your body feel like it's getting electrolytes. But exercising while fasting is very healthy for you. Very healthy. If you do it and you don't feel good, you need to make sure you're drinking water, and maybe you need to keep working up to a 16/8 fast. Okay. One huge myth that I see people ask me about all the time is, but am I starving myself? No, you're not starving yourself. This is a lifestyle. You are teaching your body how to use glucose well and efficiently, because the reality is that as you age, your body slows down. Your body slows down. Your metabolism slows down between the ages of 20 and 40. Your metabolism starts to slow. I was one of those lucky ones whose metabolism like quit working when I was 22 and I gained 30 pounds in a year. It was frightening. I lost it all the hard way, but then I've been able to keep it off. Okay. So your metabolism is going to slow. It's just a fact of life. Okay. It's the aging process. I mean, even collagen, sorry, I'm talking a lot. I need a drink. Even collagen, your body stops making it. Okay, so you have to help your body out. So intermittent fasting is just a way to help your body work efficiently, right? Use the glucose more efficiently. You're not starving yourself. You're only starving yourself if you're calorie restricting, and that is not healthy either. And that will have the adverse effects. And so I never encourage that. Um, okay, what about special occasions? What about soda and wine? And what if I want to eat out and all that? Okay, that's fine. I personally really encourage a no soda diet or regular, just because it's extra sugar and then the stuff in diet pop is terrible for your gut. But I'm not one to judge. Okay, so you want to have a soda every now and then? Go right on ahead in your feasting window. You want to have a glass of wine? Go right ahead in your feasting window. But what if my feasting window closes at 8 o'clock at night and I wanted to have a glass of wine at like 9:30? Okay, well then you just extended your feasting window, and that just means the next day you need to adjust. I did this a few weeks ago. I had a margarita at 9 o'clock at night. My eating window had ended at 7. That just meant I fasted until 1 the next day if I wanted to make it a true 16-hour fast. You have to fast 16 hours all the time? Not necessarily. I would do it initially to get your body used to it, but you might have days where you only made it 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. That's okay. You can't be all or nothing. Okay. You have to give yourself some grace, especially during the holiday time. What if your family's going to go to brunch? Okay. Just adjust. Just think, okay, if Sunday morning we're having brunch at 10 and I really want a 16-hour fast, then I need to stop eating by 6 o'clock on Saturday night. Okay. What if you can't do that? Well, then try by 8, and then you still got a 14-hour fast. Okay. That's okay. All right. Special occasions are the same way. I was on vacation, right? I still did intermittent fasting. My kids ate breakfast and I didn't. They know I don't eat breakfast. They know that it's because my body needs help. You know, I've explained to them what insulin resistance is. I've explained to them why I'm doing this and that my body operates better. And they know it operates better, you guys. I have way more energy to do all the things with them, right? Okay. So you can do that. You can do those things. All right. How long do I need to do intermittent fasting? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. 21 days to a habit is not the case anymore. It takes 63. 63 days to build a really good habit. So when I do 2-week crash courses, that's what it is. It's 2 weeks of a crash course to figure out how this works for your body. Most people, 90% of people are like, I feel amazing. There's always 10% that are like, oh, I feel terrible. And that's okay. Reality is that all of those 90 percenters that felt great those first few weeks, week 3 and week 4, they may not feel so good once their body really starts to shift. That's okay. This is why you have to do a long game. You have to remember that your health journey is just that. It's a journey. It's not a destination. Anytime we think of our health as a destination, we only do the things we need to do to get to where we think we want to be. And then when we get there, we quit doing the things. And then what happens? Well, we just undo all the work and we find ourselves right back where we were, right? Because we self-sabotaged or we quit the habit or whatever because we looked at it as a destination. When I get there, then I'll feel good and whatever. But we didn't think, well, when I get there, then I want to keep going and I want to keep these results and I want to stay healthy, right? We didn't think about any of that. And so I really talk about intermittent fasting being a lifestyle. Your health is a journey. Okay, it's a journey. You're never going to quit working on it. It's a journey. It's not a destination. And especially that scale. If you use that scale to measure whether or not you're healthy, you better throw that sucker out the window. Okay, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm wearing the same size jeans I've been wearing for 5, 6 years, but my scale is up 5 pounds. I could really let that scale get me down, or I could go, you know what? Been working out quite a bit. I bet you I have some new muscle. Okay. You can't let the scale define you. You have to think about, how am I feeling? Do I feel better? Am I sleeping better? Do my joints hurt less? Is my PMS better? Are my seasonal allergies better? Are my migraines better? Is my, are my autoimmune flares getting better? Am I going to the bathroom every day? Am I just going to the bathroom regularly and not super often? Like, there are so many non-scale victories, right? Like, is my face feeling slimmer because inflammation is lessening? I mean, you guys, you can see my eyes now. There's a time where you couldn't see my eyes. My face was so inflamed. So intermittent fasting is just amazing for every single human being. Okay, it's super helpful for your body. It's going to limit inflammation in your body. It's going to help your joints feel better. It's going to help you sleep better. It's going to help cut your sugar cravings. It's just going to help so many things. And everyone's benefits are different, and you would just have to try it. I really encourage giving it a full 60 to 90 days of a true 16/8 fast, clean, if you can. If you have to build up to it, that's fine. But you really have to give it that long, because some of you will get 2 weeks in and think this is hard and you'll fall off the wagon. And I would really try not to do that. Okay. Okay, let's see. I think that is all. I am going to look here and see if I have any questions over here. I do not. So that is, in a nutshell, really quick, how intermittent fasting works. Okay, if you want to know more, if you want to keep learning, I want you to friend request me. You can friend request me on Facebook under Shannon Rundell Hoskinson. You can find me on Instagram at Mama Hosk. Okay, I do more things on Facebook than I do on Instagram. All right, but if you want to find me and friend me and keep chatting, I would love, love, love to keep helping you. Okay. All right, let me see here.